this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and yeah, I guess it has been some time since after the previous thoughts video that I did, but it looks like we're back with, of course, another one as of now, and well, I guess you can tell that I'm actually wearing my Santa hat as we speak, so yeah, I think it might give you the idea, of course, on that front, and I know exactly what you're thinking. We're already halfway through November as of now. Why are you putting why are you putting your Santa hat on now, given to where we're at right about now? Well, don't worry about a thing. I think, yeah, trust me when I say it looks like I do have every right to, of course, be in my Santa hat, as you can definitely see here, and yeah, I think I should tilt the camera down, or I think I should probably tilt it up a bit, just to be safe, so yeah, I think it should be alright as of now, but yeah, trust me when I actually say that pretty much being this Santa hat as we speak, we'll give you some context of course, what I'm going to be talking about in today's movie that I'm going to be talking about, so yeah, I think it kind of makes sense, of course, on that front for sure, and yeah, I guess give it to all that. Seeing how we're still in November as of now, and Thanksgiving will soon be right around the corner, though I'm only saying that for any of us who actually celebrate Thanksgiving for sure, and for any of the other people that don't celebrate Thanksgiving in your country, then I do indeed apologize well in advance for that, so yeah, I kind of figure I would probably do something special for today's thoughts video for sure, and actually jump into something rather early, to be honest, when it comes to movies for sure, and speaking of, I know I did say that I would definitely talk about a few set of movies that I've already got lined up for sure for this month as we speak, and don't worry, I still will for sure, but I guess if anything, after giving it much thought, I decided to jump ahead a week earlier for sure and talk about pretty much this movie that just came out that I actually decided to go see as of recently for sure, so yeah, I guess that's kind of figure out what I'm gonna do for today's thoughts video for sure. Yeah, we're not only jumping into, of course, the movies we're about to see for this month a week early, but we're getting ourselves into the Christmas spirit well over a month early as of now, so yeah. I guess it's what I can say, of course, on that front, and don't worry, we'll get to the Christmas stuff later on down the road for sure, so yeah, I guess we kind of figure that we would go for exactly that for sure, so yeah, I guess with that being said, I think it's about time that we get ourselves in right into the Christmas spirit a month early as of now, as we actually do so with today's movie we're going to be talking about here today, which is none other than Red One, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. It is, of course, the latest film that just came out not too long ago, and I have the privilege to actually go see it very recently for sure, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, so yeah, before we can dive right into this latest movie, I just need to get some things out real quick beforehand on how, I guess to be honest, I had no idea what I was actually getting myself into with this movie for sure, especially since after looking over the trailers that came out beforehand for sure, but I knew right away, based on what I've actually seen, I think I do know, based on what I've actually seen in the trailers, it kind of actually interests me a bit for sure, I mean, it does kind of look like any other buddy cop action adventure comedy flick that we have seen before, but actually with the Christmas flair to it, to making its own thing for sure. And yeah, I guess pretty much on paper, from what I'm seeing in the trailers, it does interest me a bit for sure. And I'd be quite curious to see on how that will go down for when the movie officially comes out for sure. So yeah, I actually don't know what I'm getting myself into based on what I've actually seen in the trailer so far. But much to my knowledge, when I actually looked up this movie for sure, I do know is, of course, done by, of course, a director that I have crossed paths beforehand, which, of course, is Kasdan, who you actually may recall, he actually directed the two Jumanji sequels that we got a long time ago, those being, of course, Welcome to the Jungle and The Next Level, So yeah, I guess it's no big surprise on that front because, well, I have talked about those two movies beforehand for sure, so I think it'll be quite interesting to see on what new territory that this guy is actually dived into for sure, so yeah. And I guess immediately, I think, pretty much the thought occurred to me is that it probably would have been hilarious that all this is, of course, one big prank on, of course, Dwayne Johnson and Kasdan for sure, saying that, yeah, that pretty much Dwayne Johnson's characters in, Dwayne Johnson's character in the Jumanji sequels would pop up, saying that this movie is, of course, an advertisement for Jumanji 4, So yeah, part of me really wants to say that would have been hilarious if they actually did go that route for sure, but regardless on that, I still want to give this movie a fair shot just to see on how well it actually turned out for sure. And much to my surprise, as we speak, the film actually did come out to mostly negative reviews when it actually first premiered not too long ago, which did kind of surprise me a bit for sure, but I knew I want to go into this movie with a fair shot just to see on how it'll do for sure. So luckily enough, I did manage to take the time earlier today, by the time I'm recording this, to finally go and see this movie for myself, all thanks to the kind people at Crown City Cinemas, as always. You guys rock, so yeah, I guess with that, I think all thanks to them, they actually allowed me to get myself in to officially go and see this movie for myself, and well, now that I've officially got back from, of course, seeing it not too long ago, I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie now that I got the chance to see it? Well, I'm not gonna lie. You know of when I said that critics have been giving it mostly negative reviews as we speak? Well, I am gonna have to confess something with you guys. I don't think this movie is that bad, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not joking when I say on what I thought of this movie for sure. Despite getting bad reviews from critics for sure, pretty much many movie-going audiences, and even the people at Crown City Cinemas that I know of, actually really do like this movie for sure, and I guess, to be honest, I guess I do kind of see why for sure, so yeah, I think I guess if anything, I can't say it's great, but I guess in the long run, pretty much since after what I've actually seen, all I can say to myself that this movie, in my opinion, it wasn't that bad, to be honest. I actually do think it's actually a pretty decent flick, to be honest, so yeah, I think that's pretty much the best way I can actually describe this movie in a nutshell for sure. I don't necessarily think it's actually that bad for sure, but I definitely do think it's actually a pretty decent flick in my opinion, so yeah. It's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Oh. There we go. Alrighty then, so yeah, now that I've officially got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure. For starters is, of course, the story, and honestly, to me, I really do think, I actually do kind of like what they were going for with the story, and of course, this movie for sure. Yeah, because pretty much on paper, it actually does sound like a pretty intriguing idea for sure. I think, given to what I've actually seen, it does have a lot of possibilities, and I really do like the way that the movie actually wanted to explore those opportunities for sure to actually do something very creative from what I can gather, and from what I've actually seen by far, I really do think it somehow did a decent job on that. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some parts of it that I definitely don't think worked, in my opinion, and could actually be pretty much trimmed down a bit, just to help out with, of course, everything that goes on for sure. But everything else from what I've actually seen, I definitely do think it's actually quite fine, to be honest, for sure. It's not necessarily the best I've actually seen, but I really do admire the commitment they actually did to make the story actually work, in my opinion, for sure. So, and for while we did get some bits and pieces of that, while the others I just don't think actually flowed out quite well as I thought was going to go for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for, of course, the story and, of course, this movie. Now, as for the writing, I have to say, honestly, it's not bad, to be honest, but it's not great either. I think the majority of it could use a massive rewrite here and there to make it work a whole lot more for sure, but that's just my opinion, and I do think some parts of the writing, I definitely do think actually did work fine, to be honest, for sure. Again, not great in my opinion, but actually still did a pretty decent job nonetheless. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the writing, I have to say, and even the comedy, I have to say, well, I think I will have to say, I think it's done fine, to be honest, and I think pretty much, yeah, I think the comedy is actually pretty decent, and most of the jokes, I have to say, are a little bit too forced at best to really encourage me to laugh, but couldn't, to be honest. But then again, some of them actually did give me a good chuckle here and there, to which, yeah, I guess it's probably what I can say, of course, that front for sure, So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the story, the writing, and of course the comedy, I have to say. Some of them I could, some of them I do think could use pretty much a massive retooling here and there to make it stand out a whole lot more. But I do applaud the commitment they actually did to actually making it work for sure, to which it somewhat did, but not really enough to make it all great, to be honest. So yeah. That's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, so yeah, now that I've actually got those out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things I need to talk about for sure. First, which, of course, next up is, of course, the characters, and well, I'm not gonna lie, I think for the characters, hands down, I actually do admire, of course, what they were trying to do to make them stand out quite well for sure. I think with, of course, what I've actually seen, I really do think I do get a good sense of pretty much a little bit of development that we got with the characters for sure. Well, I mean, it's not fully enough to make them likable or interesting for sure. But I do think they actually did everything they can to give them somewhat a bit of development for sure. So yeah, I guess they're not great characters to follow, to be honest, but I do think they're fine nonetheless, and you can actually side with them here and there for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for, of course, the characters. Now, as for the actors that came on board to play all these characters, yeah, if there's anything that I do find positive about this movie, I definitely do think the acting is actually a standout for sure, so... So yeah, I'm not joking when I actually say I really do think the acting in this film, honestly, to me, is actually quite passable, to be honest. Right to the point where you actually say, okay, yeah, I guess those are good performances for sure. So yeah, I guess give it to what I've actually seen. Most of the casting, I have to say, is honestly not that bad, to be honest. In fact, some of which I actually do think actually worked quite well for sure. Like, of course, probably I think the massive standouts by far would definitely have to be Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, and J.K. Simmons for sure. They really made this movie stand out quite well for sure in terms of their acting for sure. And for that, I really do admire their performances for sure. You can tell that they are committed to make the material they're working with work quite well for sure. And given to what I've actually seen by far, I really do think, for while it's not great acting by all means, it's still good nonetheless, right to the point where it's still passable nonetheless. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. And yeah, I could go on and on about that, but those are the only standouts that I can say in terms of the actors that came on board to play all these characters for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, I guess the characters could use a bit more development to make them likable and interesting a whole lot more. But I really do admire the actors for sure, and I think they did give off some pretty good performances nonetheless. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Okay, I guess I'm done with that. Okay then, so yeah, now that I've got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Actually, quite a whole lot for sure, so... Alright, so I guess for starters, I think I might as well start off with, of course, the action for sure. Seeing how this is a action-adventure comedy flick by far for sure. And honestly, to me, I do think with the action, I have to say... Well, I will have to say, I do think the action in this film is honestly not that bad for sure. I think given to what I've actually seen by far, I think most of the action scenes I definitely don't think actually work quite well in some aspects that I'll get to later on for sure. But most of the ones that I've actually seen are actually done pretty well, and some and even the other ones I definitely do think are actually quite decent for sure. So yeah, I think the way they did the stunt work for sure to make all these action scenes all the more great for sure, I definitely do think, yeah, I really do think it's nicely done for sure. I mean, yeah, I think some parts of it I definitely do think could use some reworking here and there for sure, but I do applaud the commitment they actually did to making stand out quite well for sure. So yeah, it's not all bad for sure. In fact, it could use pretty much a little reworking here and there for sure. But I definitely do think the action, I have to say, is actually nicely done in some areas for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front for sure. So yeah, now of course, if anything, the production design for, of course, this movie, honestly, I think that too is, of course, something I really do admire the most in, of course, this movie for sure. The way they actually incorporating the visuals and the effects for sure to really make this movie work is actually nicely done for sure. And I do admire on what they actually did to making us stand out. Even the CGI, I have to say, is not that bad either for sure. So yeah, I don't think it's actually enough to make it all the more realistic in my opinion, but But I definitely do think it actually still looks nice, nonetheless, for sure, to really make this movie look good for sure. And for while it did try to be honest, I still think it actually stood out quite well for sure. And oh yeah, even the set designs, I'm not gonna lie, are actually nicely done for sure. And I really do think I'm actually in that environment with, of course, all these characters for sure. That alone is, of course, what really made stand out, in my opinion, for sure. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front for sure. Now for the direction of this film by director Kasdan, well, I guess if anything, between this and the Jumanji sequels for sure, I definitely do think his directing in this film is alright at best. I mean, it's not fully great like some of his other films that he's actually done, but I do think it's alright nonetheless for sure. Yeah, maybe I think it might have something to do with the material that's been given to him, that he's trying his best to make it work, to be honest. But I still applaud his commitment nonetheless. It's not great by all means, but it's still fine nonetheless for sure. So yeah, and of course for the cinematography, I have to say, well, I do think it's actually alright for sure. I think the camera shots from what I've actually seen are not great in my opinion, but I definitely do think it's alright from what I can gather for sure. So yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front for sure. Could use a little reworking here and there to make it work a whole lot more for sure, but I definitely do think it's alright nonetheless for sure. Not great, but alright to be honest. And now as for the editing, I have to say, yeah, I guess if anything, pretty much from what I can gather, the film's editing, I have to say, is not really that great to be honest. I think from what I can gather, I think the editing in this film is actually way too rapid from what I can gather. In fact, it's actually so rapid, I couldn't actually make out most of the action scenes that was going on for sure. Almost like a little something out of a Michael Bay production, to be honest, for sure. So yeah, I think it's what I could say, of course, that front for sure. Even the pacing, I have to say, I too kind of felt was massively off in some areas for sure. Like, of course, there are some parts in it that I definitely do think is too fast from what I can gather, and I think some parts in it I kind of thought where, of course, they wanted to make this movie slow down. I think they slowed it down a little too little, to be honest, and I do think it could have actually been handled a whole lot better for sure, but that's pretty much what I can gather, of course, on my front for sure. Like I said, it could use a little reworking here and there, but that's pretty much from what I can gather, in my opinion, for sure. So yeah, I guess with all that said and done, it's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie in a nutshell for sure. But hey, regardless on that, I think you can see on what I actually mean by what I thought of this one in a nutshell. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie. So yeah, overall, I guess if anything, pretty much Red One is honestly not as bad as a lot of people are saying it is for sure. I think with, of course, what I've actually seen, I really do think the concept for this movie actually can work well on paper for sure. But I guess with, of course, a little bit of somewhat decent execution for sure, I think I think it does come across as being a little bit too stale and boring in some areas, but a few others, I'm not gonna lie, I really do think actually did kind of work well for sure, resulting in this somewhat decent balance that I somewhat get with, of course, this one for sure. Yeah, I really don't think it's actually great, to be honest, but then again, it's not terrible for sure. I just definitely do think that maybe with much better execution by far, I think we could have actually gotten something all the more great for sure. But I guess it is what it is for sure. And in the end, I guess pretty much of anything, this movie is definitely one of many that I've actually seen where I can actually say it wasn't that bad. So yeah, I guess nonetheless, I definitely do think this is actually a pretty decent flick, in my opinion. I really do think there are some good moments in there that can actually still make it fun to watch for sure. So yeah, I guess given to that mindset alone, I definitely do think this movie might be worth checking out if you got the time for sure. So yeah, if you are looking for something a little bit more action-packed and comedic while keeping that Christmas spirit right into it, then I say this movie is actually a pretty decent one to check out for sure. So yeah, you're not going to get much from what I can gather, but I still think you're actually going to get something that might pique your interest a bit for sure. And I definitely do think that's what really matters for sure. So yeah, I guess for what it is, yeah, I say definitely check this one out for sure. Yeah, again, I don't think it's actually great, but it's not terrible either. Pretty much just a decent Christmas movie to go and see for the holiday season nonetheless. So yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, for my final score, yeah, I'll be fair on, of course, on this one, and I'll give it a decent 6 out of 10 as my final score for sure. So yeah, like I say, it's not great from what I can gather, but it's not terrible either. So yeah, but if you are looking for something that might pique your interest, pretty much just in time before the holiday season, then I say this one is, of course, a fine one to check out for sure. So yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say, of course, on that front for sure. So yeah. Yeah, I'm only being fair, of course, on this one, and I definitely do think that's what really matters with, of course, this one. It's not that bad, to be honest, and I still think you're you're still gonna get something that's rather decent, nonetheless, for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, so I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much all I can say about this movie in a nutshell. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and by all means, I want to ask all of you guys, what do you think of Red Dwayne if you've actually seen it for sure? Do you absolutely really enjoy it and think it's a really great one to watch around the holiday season, or do you absolutely hate it and think it's nothing but a lump of coal nonetheless? Or are you like me and you actually thought it was a pretty decent flick regardless for sure? So yeah, let me know what you thought of this movie down in the comments down below. I would love to know on what you guys think. So yeah, I think it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and well, now that I've officially got that out of the way, looks like there's a lot coming up for the month of November as of now for sure, because yeah, I've got a lot to do for sure. So yeah. But yeah, either way, now that I finally got this movie out of the way, I think it's quite fitting that we finally get ourselves in for the real deal for of course this month in terms of a movie. So So yeah. And I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what am I going to be talking about next? And of course, on my next thoughts video. Well, that's actually a really great. That's a really great question. So I guess if anything, for the next weekend, I think we're going to be following in the footsteps of course, the Barbenheimer trend that happened last year for sure, and I guess for next weekend, we're actually going to be talking about not one, but two movies that are coming out that I know hands down we're going to be hyped for sure, so yeah, and I guess for what I'm going to be talking about in my next thoughts video, well, I know I've been hyping this up for a long time now, and given to the amount of videos I've actually done on this subject matter, I think this movie that I'm going to be talking about next deserves its own review for sure, so yeah. So I'll definitely leave you guys at that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and well, I guess for my next thoughts video, I think we might as well step out of the North Pole right now, since after what we've experienced with, of course, this movie for sure, and well, I think I might as well pack up my bags and wait for the next Twister to show up, because for the next movie I'm going to be talking about, I'm about to take a trip to the land of Oz. And if you can somehow know exactly what I'm talking about with the movie I'm going to be talking about next for sure, then you know hands down we're certainly going to be defying gravity, of course, this one, so yeah. I think it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front, so I think I might as well go ahead and pack up my bags to take a trip to Oz right now. So yeah, until then, I'll see you guys in the next thoughts video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack447TV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyattackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.